Okay, so this one here, the deck isn't turning on. Noticed some weird stuff. So I wanted to do a direct test to our PTO, power takeoff down here. So we have wires running into this and we're using our jump pack and nothing with this hooked up. So we turn this off on. You should hear a click. You should see these plates moving. This is an electronic clutch. When you put the electric to it, 12 volt, it magnetizes and pulls this plate up into your clutch up here. Well, this is the whole clutch, but anyway, pulls this plate up and engages this pulley. So I thought sometimes they're quiet. So I thought, heck, why not try to fire the engine up while power is going to the PTO? So we went ahead and tried to fire it up with the power going to the PTO and nothing. We'll check inside this casting here for any issues. There's also some positive to ground wires up above when we were testing our control board up here, testing all of these wires. It was positive where it's not supposed to be positive. So there could still be another issue here. We do know that as of now, it's looking like the PTO is bad. The PTO going bad will also cause those issues up there, but I don't know. It was some weird stuff, so we're gonna check that out now. But I also wanna go over with everybody real quick here. We have our classes coming up here next month in September. First class is overbooked. Second class is almost full. Our third class, which is the second class of Saturday, only has a few people in it. I would recommend that everybody that hasn't signed up to sign up for that afternoon class. We're going to be teaching it no matter what and going over this stuff. We just look at it as, you know, the less students, the more hands-on, or the more learning each student will get anyhow. So that's what we're looking at here. This is the manual that we're going to be bringing out and going over with each student. We're going to first figure out where everybody's head is as far as it goes with mechanics and different stuff like that. And then we'll start from there. So if people can rebuild an engine, we'll rebuild an engine. But I think we're going to be looking at the basics here, teaching, you know, tool names, general repairs, maintenance, different things like that. Carburetor repair would be one of them, belt repair, you know, different things like that we'll go over, and each student will get a chance to work directly with the parts as well as the equipment. So we're going to be bringing out push mowers, riding mowers, probably a couple zero turns, and be working on everything there on site. But yeah, I'm very excited. Hope to see you there. So back to this guy here. We did find some really weird stuff. So we're still not getting any hot down to our PTO, even though our PTO is not working off of a completely separate power source. So we can either go new wiring harness, because something is backfeeding somewhere in here, and that's what most places would probably make you do. Now in this case, what we're gonna do, and we already checked, just to go real quick over this real quick, is the fuel solenoid in here, the fuel solenoid right there. We unplugged that. Sometimes they'll backfeed through that. The wires behind it look okay. So not an issue there. We're still getting hot to our ground, and then when we pull the button, nothing. And we're getting no hot, again, down to where our PTO plugs into. And the switch is working very abnormal. Different things. It fires up and runs though, and the strangest, strange things anyway. So what we'll end up doing here is we'd have to get a new PTO, and then we would start with a new ground wire direct from our ground, where it's grounded, I'm assuming, on the engine mounts down below here. We'll run a new ground wire up to our key switch, potentially over to our PTO switch as well. One ground wire to our key switch may solve the issue and eliminate the back feed, hopefully. Now, if that doesn't do it, then we may just have to, without completely tearing the entire wiring harness out of there, it would be one wire at a time. After that, we would run one from our on position in the PTO down to our PTOs below, and then if that didn't do it, we would have to eliminate a few other things, and we may end up just having to completely rewire. And if we did that, we would tie back in our seat safety switch, and we would tie back in most likely our arms. Most important thing we always want to rewire back in for liability purposes, obviously, is the seat safety switch. If somebody comes off of it, the machine shuts off. But looking at a fun one. We've done them before. But yeah, my guess would be is the PTO clutch was going out, did not blow a fuse, and ended up melting a wire somewhere in the wiring harness. So, yepers. To be continued on this guy. We're gonna have to get a quote out, and if it gets approved, we'll come back out and do the work.